everyone. Welcome to Living in TDot. I'm here today at BedfordBrooks Design on Broadview Avenue in Toronto. And my guest today is Peter Brooks. Hello Peter, how are you doing today?
Hey Sam, how are you?
Great.
Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure. When did you establish BedfordBrooks as a design firm in Toronto?
BedfordBrooks, I think we've been around for about 8 years.
That's it?
That's it, yeah. I feel like I've been doing this all my life, Sam.
Really?
In fact, I think I knew I was a designer when I was about 8 years old. Just sometimes, I think life starts after 40.
We know each other from Remax Hallmark.
Yes.
You were a real estate agent at one point.
I was.
What possessed you to just leave that life and start something like this?
No, Sam, I mean, interior design has always been my passion. And you know, as a real estate agent, you are involved in your clients' lives.
You
That means you are helping them stage their homes. And I tell you, I stage homes before staging the staging.
Right.
And of course, when they bought a new home, they'd be renovating that home. And for me, I would be very involved in renovations.
In what way?
I prefer their contractor, and I would certainly be in there giving them design advice. So that was a big juice for me as being a real estate agent, because I was so involved with their renovations. And actually, I think it gave me a little niche as a realtor. But to leave it wasn't easy.
What wasn't easy?
Well, I was an agent for about 17 years, and I loved it. I loved being an agent for a lot of reasons. Certainly the people you met, the agents I met, you know, they're all very colorful, very generous, very amazing people, real estate agents. In fact, a lot of our referrals come through some of my agent friends,
right.
But it's a good life. So yeah, it wasn't easy to follow my passion as an interior designer, but as Steve Jobs says, follow your passion.
So who's Bedford?
Bedford's actually the street I grew up on.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, I grew up on Bedford Park, and I thought I just liked the way.
It does.
So,
But I always wondered, I don't see Bedford anywhere here. Who is it?
We've got a great team.
So when someone tells you to do a kitchen or maybe a whole house,
Yeah.
what's a typical kind of project that you would take on?
Oh my
It
gosh.
may have changed now, but
Yeah.
when you were first starting.
Well, my first design job was a bathroom in Hyde Park.
Okay.
And still today, I think it was one of my favorite jobs.
Really?
Yeah, it was a beautiful, and I remember actually the reveal, we sort of didn't let them in for the last week or so. So the reveal day was, we set the flowers up and set the lighting, and I left. And I let them sort of open the door themselves, and I got such an amazing email from the clients. They were just wow.
You didn't even stick around to see
No,
it?
no. So that really inspired me.
Probably that you worked on that made you think, wow, I've really come a long way. I've arrived where you know that. Wow,
That's a
really
tough question. I mean,
it's-
for me, every project is amazing. I really do sleep and eat all these. I love what I do. Every project. When you ask me, is there a favorite one? I mean, there's been several. Some of the commercial jobs I've done have been challenging, and the end result has been amazing. And I say commercial because it's not just somebody's home, and it's very intimate. When you're doing a commercial space, in fact, we just finished one that's about 5,000 square feet, and there's probably about maybe 30 people working in that space.
Right.
And we're working with the president and the board, so it was quite involved. But to have 30 people react to their space was amazing, and how that
Kind of
affects their business.
Take note of productivity before and after, and if it's improved or not, or is it just their perception?
It's a little more on perception. I've really affected, I think, a lot of businesses. There's one business in particular, TechWise, one of my favorite projects. And they certainly, because I'm in touch with them, I've done his residence as well, the owners. He always gets back to me and says, when clients get into that commercial space is different than a residential space.
Right.
As far as my favorite residential space, honestly, there's been so many.
I remember you talking about one client who has a condo in the King Eddie Hotel, and there was kind of a theme to the project. It wasn't just about materials, there was a theme, so you got to be a bit of an artist, I think. Can you tell me?
Well, we did. This is, we recently completed that, and that was a private residence at the King Eddie. And she said, she gave me one inspiration shot, and she said, Petey, I want this to be old Hollywood, Audrey Hepburn. And basically, and she was coming with nothing other than her clothes, nothing.
No furniture,
nothing.
China,
No bedding, nothing. So what we did was, she was not allowed to see this, not allowed. She agreed that this would be a complete reveal. So we were given carte blanche. And imagine me doing Hollywood. I love old movies. So I got with King Eddie with keeping old Hollywood and Audrey Hepburn in mind. And that was probably the most fun I've had. We did coffered ceilings and little pink on the ceilings and built-ins and plush couches. Still keeping everything very timeless and sleek and sexy. And that reveal, she actually filmed it. That reveal, she came in through the front door, and I swear she cried for 20 minutes. She had a designer crying, she had me crying. It was just, and that's what really keeps us going. I mean, that was a fun project. I love that. And who wouldn't want to be the King Eddie? I mean, it cost me a fortune. I was in the bar off me. The parking was so dreadful, but what a place to
But just to go through the lobby there, I mean, it kind of takes you back to a different time as well.
It does. And I was home. We were there for a good couple of months, and believe me, I got to know all the guys there, all the people who worked there, and I really felt like family. So I really got to understand how she's going to live there, and the lobby and the bar really becomes your home, becomes your living room. And for this client, it was perfect. That's her lifestyle, and I loved it. So yes, if you're asking me one of my favorite projects, that would definitely be one of them. Not to take away from any of the other ones, because I do have a lot of
over the years about trends versus classics. And sometimes people come to you and they want the latest and everything, but it doesn't serve. It serves their purpose, but tell me about what you feel about trends versus a classic look.
I mean, we always try to stay up on the trends, always. Sure. I mean, I'm always out there, and certainly early designers are out there looking for new trends, and that's part of our job. And we always try to introduce something new. But again, as you know, trends are trends. Right now, I think that there's florals. Blooms are coming back here.
How about glass mosaic?
Glass mosaic tiles. I mean, again, you get these things that are very trendy.
Yes.
And I think in every design you can infuse some of those trends.
Right.
And we do have to take certainly some belief from the clients.
Sure.
I mean, if they say, "Hey, I want Gothic," I'm going to have to give them Gothic. Just ask them for that. But my philosophy, or my principle in design is always have that design timeless. But depending on the style, a lot of materials will say it's timeless. Marbles and that kind of thing always say it's timeless. Keeping the floor, the countertop, and the millwork, these are the things you're going to spend money on. Yes. Those are things you want to really consider as being timeless elements. Right. If you want to punch it out, go crazy with backsplash. That can be changed. Right. But again, we're trying to fit. This isn't our space. This is our client space. And so, say if they want to go crazy, we'll go crazy, and it's a lot of fun. But our main goal, our main principle, is our spaces are always timeless. And I think if you look through some of our projects, it really does speak to that.
It would be interesting to go back, go in forward in time. In 20 years from now, take photographs again and ask people, when was this built?
I love that.
Yeah, that would be an interesting project. You obviously have records of your photographs and stuff. So.
Yeah, we keep some, yeah. But again, every space sort of speaks to itself as well. The King Eddie, very different kind of space. That was glam, Hollywood. That I think is timeless because Audrey Hepburn is classic. She's never goes out of style. And that's, speaking about timeless, that's what we're always doing. Even it's very contemporary. For some of the chairs, they're timeless. Those kind of elements will bring the timeless.
As a designer, what makes you different, separates you from other designers?
I flirt a lot.
You flirt a lot? Okay, yes, I knew that.
I look pretty good. Young and hard. No, our business has come a long way from that first little bathroom we talked about. And with a lot of different people's, I don't call it all mine, but I've actually been with a business coach for quite some time. And when I first sat down with Marisha, her name's Marisha, she owns an amazing firm called Velocity Partners. When I sat down with her, I said, Marisha, I want to have our projects on time and on budget. So we collaborated and we have built systems to allow us to do that. And I think that's so important. So every one of our projects has to be on time and on budget. And we have systems to get our projects to that. And it starts with a simple design consultation, where we'll meet our clients and really go through their project in detail. We'll discuss their tastes and their likes and the function of space. And then we'll actually go through budget. Funny enough, budget always seems to come up. It always seems to be important.
Well, yeah.
It's
kind of important.
It's kind of important. And I'm going to meet with, at the end of it, we'll go through any questions or concerns, but after the initial consultation, I can't say enough about, if they do nothing else, that initial consultation is amazing for them. They really get to understand the scope of their work, their budget, they understand the function of their space, do they need more storage, less, open concept, not. That I can't say enough about the initial consultation. The project begins. And every project begins with basically a general layout. Once that general, if it's a kitchen, it's a general layout. Once that's approved, then we can start getting into some more details in the work and that kind of. Then we get into, we may disappear for a couple of weeks. Then we start sourcing out. That's the fun part. Sourcing out all the materials. Sure. The sink, the faucet, the lights.
But how do you budget, in advance of those 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, in our initial consultation, we've got a general budget. So now we've got the budget. Let's say, for instance, it's a $50,000 kitchen. I'm not going to go out and shop for $30 a square foot marble when the budget calls for $10 a square foot.
Okay.
Budget's always kept top of mind.
So as you're working through this, you're aware of what the budget's being
always.
And buy things accordingly.
Exactly. We keep everything on spreadsheets. So when we're actually here in our office and we have everything spread out on the table, we've got all our millwork drawings, we have the contractor's price, here's the tile, here's the faucet, and so on the spreadsheet, exactly how much everything is. So before a hammer hits the nail, they know their project in detail. They don't, so people can sleep at night. Now, it doesn't mean that things don't change. We may discover maybe we found a trendy backsplash, and we'll change that. And that's cool.
Yeah.
But honestly, we have come a long way from that. I think that's what makes us a little different. That on time, on budget is so important to us. Then we can have fun with design. And I think that helps us. That helps us.
Nice to meet you today.
That's great. Thanks for stopping by, Sam.
Your work. So I'm here at 870 Broadview Avenue in the Danforth area, and if you'd like to speak with Peter, he can be reached at 416-469-8525, and he's online at BedfordBrooksDesign.com. Or
BedfordBrooks.com.
BedfordBrooks.com.
Let me say that again, BedfordBrooks.com. Don't forget to come and visit us.